to this week's Road to the Summit. We have some great interviews lined up for you today. Some returning attendees, a new first-time attendee, kind of the reasons why everyone's looking to get back down to Orlando and network with brokers and carriers. It's all about the networking opportunities of the education and the fun and entertainment. It's going to be a blast. October 28th through the 30th at the Hyatt Regency there in Orlando. It is, as I said, it's just going to be a fun time. It always is. Into the education is by far the best out there in the industry, and the networking. We talk a little bit about lunch and lanes, where we have all the different rooms. We have the dry-van dining room, we have the flatbed dining room, we have the reefer dining room, and a few others that encompasses the main equipment types out there, where brokers and carriers who are interested in that type of freight sit down, they break bread and get to know each other and build opportunities, business opportunities right then and there. We're talking to a couple of people today, you'll see in the interviews, where they've done business right there on the floor. It's always great to hear. I like it when businesses get done. We have a great agenda as well. I'm doing the market outlook with Brent Hudo and Matt Silver. Matt Silver from Green Screens. Brent's not a truck parking club, so we're going to do that. A lot of other great events. You can check it there. Check it out at brokercarriersummit.com/events. So go there, get registered. If you haven't registered, get registered today, because it's coming fast. It's coming back fast. We're about 30 days away. Well, over 30 days away to it. So let's dive into our interviews now, though. We have some great guests with us. And here we are with our first guest, is Mr. Andrew Wren from MW Logistics down here in Dallas, Texas. He's been to at least one BCS summit before, if not a couple. He joined us down in Indianapolis for our last one, and he's coming out to Orlando for another dose. How are you doing today, Andrew?
Doing well. The great state of Texas is treating me well.
It is. We're representative of Dallas, Texas down here.
That's right.
Both of us are in the DFW area. It seems to go forever sometimes.
Definitely if you're in traffic.
Well, thanks for joining me today, and thanks for coming out to the BCS in Indianapolis. And what were your initial thoughts? Was that your first BCS?
It was my first BCS. I thought it was great. There was a ton of collaboration, a lot of opportunity just to have one-on-one conversations for me as a third-party company to meet with carriers, all different sizes, right? And truly have one-on-ones with them was fantastic. Just, shaking hands, talking about needs, talking about trouble spots, builds familiarity, right? We all deal with the same issues. So I thought it was fantastic. Sessions were really good, especially on several of the topics that I joined in on, some of the tech things and fraud. I thought those were really nice.
Yeah, definitely. Are you working with any of the carrier partners that you met?
Absolutely. I actually got about 40 or 50 cards that I brought back. I think we were able to set up 10 or 15 of them pretty quickly, do business. Nothing super transformative, but we've got some more carriers in our network running on prominent lanes for us. So to me, it was a win.
Yeah, let's talk about prominent lanes and MW Logistics. Kind of give us an introduction and kind of what you guys specialize in.
Sure. We're a full service third party company. We're non-asset, right? So everything we do is in the middle. We've got a large footprint in the truckload space. We highly emphasize on truckload. We do very little intermodal and LTL. We pride ourselves on running multiple SCACs. We do a full brokerage offering, and we work under like an asset model to where it's custom solutions for customers, right? Drop trailer pools, dedicated fleets, drivers, that kind of thing. We run all over the country. And then what's very unique about what we do is we have a dedicated division, and it's all third party, but it's specifically setting up private fleets for customers, shippers, trailer pools as large as 500 with, 80, 90 drivers assigned to a facility running 24/7. We do that with multiple sites across the country. So we like to be considered a full service opportunity for our customers, and just truly try to find a way to say yes.
Yeah, definitely. That is a great introduction and a very interesting business model. You don't hear that every day about the dedicated operations and setting that up as a 3PL. Um, what are you looking forward to most whenever you hit Orlando and the BCS and kind of as you walk through the conference?
Yeah, great opportunity to find more carriers. We are really starting to branch into some drayage. I love the proximity to Florida with several ports in the area. I'm going to be looking at that. I've also have several flatbed customers, specifically in the greater Southeast, if you will. So really going to spend a lot of time with our flatbed partners, whoever shows up. So hopefully they're ready to be given a big dose of me. But looking forward to truly mingle in that space this opportunity with the BCS this round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a lot of flatbed carriers who attend the BCS, and what we instituted a couple rounds ago or a couple summits ago that has been very popular. You probably participated in it down in Indianapolis is the luncheon lanes. So luncheon lanes where we had a rooms dedicated for dry van freight, for reefer freight, for flatbed freight, and a couple others there as well, where if you're a flatbed carrier, you're looking for flatbed carriers as a 3PL or a freight broker, you go to this room, you sit down, you have your lunch, and you network.
Yeah, absolutely. I spent a lot of time in Indianapolis focused on the dry van side of things. One thing I've learned, even through communication with several friends that have gone to multiple BCS, and then the one I went to, it seems to be the carriers who show up are very regional in basis, right? So I look forward to the BCS moving around the country. I think that'll benefit people like me who represent a third party. So really looking forward to jump in there. I have some very prominent customers that move quite a bit of freight in the Southeast. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity. And again, I'm going to be rubbing elbows with the flatbed guys this round. So looking forward to it. I got my PPE, my orange vest ready to go.
Yeah, you should. You should wear your orange vest throughout the show.
I might have to just do it.
Yeah, Rick Larkin was always famous for wearing his yellow vest around conferences, and it's always a good sight to see him in his yellow vest. So yeah, so I mean, Orlando is shaking out to be a great event, and there'll be a lot of flatbeds, a lot of regional southeastern carriers out there looking to learn. A large part of that is education that you found that you touched upon the technology side and the fraud side as well, which kind of goes hand in hand in a lot of ways. But yeah, we're gonna have Ken Riddle doing another update from the FMCSA. A lot of education going along on at the BCS summit, along with the networking. So, any parting words for anyone who's thinking about registering but hasn't made up their mind yet?
I think it's just an opportunity to be open-minded. I left Indianapolis, really enjoyed my experience. I was signed up to be part of the Brokerage Advisory Council and was able to meet a lot of, quote unquote, like-minded individuals or like business individuals. And the goal is to create a reach, right? And build a bridge between gaps between carriers and brokers. So no, I mean, it's a great opportunity. Everyone's welcome. I met one truck owner operators and I met very large brokerages and great tech firms that they were there. It was a great just melting pot of individuals there. So if you're looking at coming, take the chance, show up, put yourself out there, grab a cup of coffee and some business cards, and you'll do just fine.
Sounds perfect. And we will catch up with each other, Andrew, here in just a short few weeks, October 28th through the 30th at the Orlando Hyatt Regency, the Broker Carrier Summit. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And we have our next special guest here. Joining us is Mark Funk. He is the Director of Carrier Procurement over at SPI. And like him, we've been to every single Broker Carrier Summit except that original one in Indianapolis. We both hit Tampa, Kansas City, Dallas, Indianapolis, and now back to Florida, to Orlando. How are you doing today, Mark?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on the show, Kevin. I'm really looking forward to it. But the Broker Carrier Summit, it's been a whirlwind. I tell you, from where it started to where it is now. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. I mean, Tampa, we had a good crowd in Tampa, but it was about 200 people or so. Now we're up to over 500 attendees each time we go out there. It's fun and educational. And I tell you what, especially in your seat, business gets done.
Yeah, it sure does. I've been able to connect with a few different carriers and also vendors too. I mean, it's not just a broker carrier situation. Yeah, the vendors as well. But for me personally, I really enjoy getting to sit down and talk to the carriers and say, okay, hey, here's my needs. Can you meet those? If not, what are your needs from a carrier perspective? And then I bring those back and see if I can find places for them in our network.
Yeah, it's very special because a lot of the work that we do as brokers and carriers is all over the phone. It's virtual. You don't really get to meet people on a personal level and do that type of deep networking, and it builds better relationships from the get go.
It sure does. I mean, there's something to be said to sit down and being able to be face to face with someone you're doing business with. It only makes sense. And especially when you factor in a lot of the fraud and some of the risk mitigation efforts that you've got out there and getting a chance to actually meet that person, it goes a long way. It really does.
It does. It rings out the fraud immediately, right? Once you're able to meet people face to face and know what they're looking for when it comes to loads, kind of what their network is, and be able to match that up with what you have. Tell our audience a little bit about SPI and where you're based out of, and kind of what you guys do as a brokerage.
Yeah, sure. So SPI is an agent-based brokerage model, and our headquarters is actually located out of Canada, over in British Columbia. So we have agents scattered throughout North America. The majority of our agents are in the States. And, as far as our scope and what we handle, it's pretty much like any other, agent-based brokerage. We handle it all, right? And, that's why carrier relationships are so important to our business. We're a non-asset based agent brokerage, so we depend 100% on our carrier partners.
Exactly right. And that's a good reason for, if you're a carrier partner, to come out to Orlando and meet people like Mark here and get loads. Get loads with brokers that you can trust. Come to the educational sessions, come to the market. As the market, the state of the freight market type of presentations that we have going on. But besides the networking, what's your favorite part of the BCS? What are you looking forward to in Orlando coming up in just a short few weeks?
Well, I've been to Orlando several times. Being here, located myself in Florida, I've been there several times. But again, I mean, for me, it's meeting the carriers and getting to help. Actually, at all of the different conferences I've been at with the Broker Carrier Conference, I found out that because carriers are out on the road, they're driving, they're doing everything they can to get their business going, they're maybe not up to speed on a lot of the things out there that they probably should be, as far as risk mitigation efforts, the best ways to deal with brokers and get on board it and stuff like that. And I've had carriers that they have not hauled a load for SPI, but they saw me at the Broker Carrier Conference, and they reached out to me afterwards and say, I've got an issue, can you help me? And for me, that's pays huge dividends for me.
That is phenomenal. It's phenomenal that happens. It's such a great networking event, and that networking gets translated to deals done at the conference. Freight's covered there. Solutions are done almost immediately, so you don't have that delayed gratification. Everyone comes out of the BCS very happy because they probably made a little bit of money.
That's true. While I'm there, I'm working with somebody, and oh, hey, I've got a truck. They're in Texas. I look at our load board. Yep, I've got somebody. I'll put them in connection, and we've done deals at the actual conference, right? And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I was leading a tanker, a guy who had two tankers. Right, he was at the conference in Indianapolis, and I'm walking around introducing them to the people that I know that do a lot of bulk commodity. I knew a couple of people there, and I introduced them. It's the way business gets done. So I encourage all carriers to come out and to meet some brokerages, get some loads under the belt. Um, it's a tough freight market right now, and if you can find the freight with a trusted partner that fits really nicely within your network and what you need to gain operational efficiency, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. I mean, from a broker perspective, they get a chance to meet all of these different, I mean, from a carrier perspective, they get a chance to meet all these different brokers. And really, if I was a carrier, I would go to the broker carrier summit and say, okay, hey, broker one, broker two, broker three, here's where I'm at. And I would build my book of business from that. I would.
Yeah, it's an easy way to build your book of business, and not play the load boards all the time, because the load boards can be dangerous, especially with fraud, and certainly you never know who that trading partner is on the other end. Whereas if you can sit down face to face, you can find better solutions. Certainly. Well, Mark, thanks for joining us here at the road to the summit here, leading up to the broker carrier. You're local, so how far of a drive is it for you?
Oh, it's about 3.5 hours, but I'm going through the Sunshine State, some palm trees. I'm good.
Yeah, 3.5 hours isn't bad whatsoever. So excited to see you out at the broker carrier summit, and until then, good luck.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show. Looking forward to seeing you.
And we're up now with our next interview. Special guest here, Ted McClain. He is from Expedite All. How are you doing today, Ted?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And this, so we're talking before we hit record, and this will be your third BCS summit. You went to Kansas City, right? Dallas, and Indianapolis. So they're the last three that we've done, and you'll be joining us down in Orlando. What keeps bringing you back?
Well, I think it's a very good opportunity for a couple of things. One is to learn, more with the speakers and the presenters. That's always good. But even more so for us is to meet more leadership at brokerages. It's always been a very good place to see people that I already know or meet new people, and that's been very, very good for us.
Let's describe your business there. You're the senior vice president at Expedite All. What do you guys focus on? What's your niche specialization?
Sure. So what we do, we are, as the name implies, we focus on expedited shipments. We are a closed network brokerage, which means we don't own the equipment, but every truck and carrier in our network has been through a extremely thorough vetting, training, and monitoring process. The reason it's so good for us to go to the broker carrier is that we only work with other brokers. We don't go out into the public to shippers and manufacturers, and we just work with other brokers. So it's a very good process. We have about 11,000 vehicles in our network. About 6,500 of them are Sprinter vans or cargo vans. About 2,700 or maybe about 2,900 are straight trucks. About 1,900 are box trucks.
So you filling that very special niche of same day, expedited, for lack of a better word, for that. Do you do white glove as well, or?
We do white glove, but it is same day, but some of it, the average length of haul is over 600 miles. So we do cross country. If you need to get something from Miami to Seattle and you don't want to use LTL or whatever, it's a really good option.
Yeah. So you have a lot of great contacts, sitting at the broker carrier summit, right? For networking, to getting to know, on the broker side and on the carrier side as well.
Right. Right. Yeah. Really more for the broker side. Yeah, that's our main point is to meet and talk to a lot of as many brokers as we can and see if our product is a good fit for their network.
Very good. Very good. Besides networking, on the agenda side, the educational side, what are you looking forward to at Orlando?
Well, we always like to hear about the prevention of the fraud and theft and all that, which is obviously a big topic for everybody right now. We have that pretty much under control. It's not an issue for us, but it is an issue for a lot of our partners that occasionally they have that kind of thing come up, and we know that we're a good solution for that for them. And but it's always good to hear and know what kind of new schemes are going on to try to steal freight.
There's always a new scheme. That is.
There's always a new one. Yeah.
There really is. Yeah. So the educational is good. When it comes to, I mean, basically, if you were to recommend the Broker Carrier Summit or give a reason why someone who's thinking about going but isn't fully committed yet, why should they go?
I mean, it's a really nice conference. It's a lot of information. You meet a lot of people who have similar obstacles, every day, and you can bounce ideas across with them or with others, and see how they solve those issues. It's always good to have, two heads are better than one, and people seem to be very open as far as sharing information and how they go about doing things.
Very good. Very good. Well, Ted, how does our audience reach out and contact you leading up to the Broker Carrier Summit? Maybe set up a meeting with you. They're in Orlando or virtually at any time.
Yeah, they can reach out to me anytime, and we can set something up. The easiest thing is just shoot me an email. This just ted.mcclain, MCCLAIN @expedile.com.
Looking forward to seeing you out in Orlando, Ted, here in the next few weeks. It should be a blast as always. We have great after hours events and things to do along with the conference and certainly the business making mechanism and the networking that goes into it.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. Orlando's always fun to go to.
It is. It definitely is. Until then, we'll see you out there. And if you need any expedited opportunities or have any expedited opportunities, you can always reach out to Ted.
Thank you.
And welcome to the next interview here on the road to the summit. Coming up, the Broker Carrier Summit on October 28th through the 30th in Orlando. And one of our first time guests in Orlando will be Jessie Garcia, and he's the founder there of Garcia Interstate Carriers. How are you doing today, Jessie?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Good, good. Where are you based out of?
Laredo, Texas.
Laredo, Texas. Very
Yes.
nice. This will be your first time out at a Broker Carrier Summit. What kind of drew your attention and drew you out to Orlando?
Well, I was watching it actually. I was looking at a TikTok, and there was this guy that was announcing the Carrier Broker Summit, and his name is Hector, and so I was just him and somebody else that he was speaking to on the TikTok. Had also they were mentioning that, so I just Googled it and I got all the information and registered to go. So yeah, that's how I found out about it.
Nice. Let's talk a little bit about your company. What kind of equipment do you guys have? How many trucks do you guys have?
Right now, I'm just at least on one guy and just my truck. So it's it's a small one man show basically. I guess you could say. I just leased on this guy not about a week ago, so hasn't been very long. And my whole thing was just that I got a direct customer up in Oklahoma, and I've been up there. So I live here in Laredo, and what I'm just trying to do, I was just trying to get get a job. Well, actually, I found someone that was able to you know maybe help me out with work out of Laredo, Texas. So yeah, that's my story. I mean, I'm just trying to stay at home, and because I've been living up in Oklahoma for the last year, coming back and forth, and my wife doesn't really want to go up there. She kind of likes it here in Laredo. So um, I don't know. Right now, I'm just trying to make it work out. I figured by me going to the broker, carrier summit, I might network. I might find some broker that could give me, maybe some work down here in Laredo. So yeah, that's in plus, learn and, get to know people. Yeah, this isn't, like I said, it's my first time, trying to do something like this. So I'm just trying different routes basically.
What what kind of trailers do you guys run?
Oh, right now I'm doing power only.
Okay.
So reefers, mainly. But I've been leased on to other companies, and I was doing reefers as well, with them. So it's basically, I've done some dry van, done some flatbed work. But I haven't been doing this very long. I've only been, driving since 2018. So yeah, so that's just, my whole goal is just to have my own company.
You always have to take the first step, and congratulations on taking that first step. And we will get you lined up with some jobs in South Texas and Laredo area.
Nice.
Definitely, definitely. I'll keep in touch. And I'll make sure that it happens because I know quite a few brokerages there that do a lot of work in and around Laredo that'll be at the Broker Carrier Summit. So definitely want to see you thrive, and you got a couple trucks now, so we'll keep those busy.
Yeah, no, and yeah, that would be very nice. And if I need to get a trailer, I mean, I'd, invest in one, but I just, right now, I just happen, like I said, I leased on to, at least a driver on or an owner operator to my direct customer that I have up in Oklahoma. So he's just been taking over my route and, that I was doing personally, and just trying to come down here so I can be close to the family.
But besides the networking, meeting brokerages, what else are you interested in doing and seeing at the Broker Carrier Summit coming up here in the next few weeks in Orlando?
Yeah, basically just learning. Yeah, it just seems like I feel like there's a lot to learn that I just haven't, picked up. And I don't want to claim that I know everything, because I don't. There's a lot of things like even onboarding, this, owner operator that at least that's leased onto me, just the process and just getting to know more things. And I mean, it seems like there's a whole lot of things out there. Maybe to you or to anybody else that's been in this, it's simple, but for me, it just seems like there's, when I thought that I had everything in order, there's always something that I'm learning.
You'll never outgrow that, right? I mean, it's not simple. It's always complex, and there's always something else that you need to watch out for.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's just learn and just listen, like I said, I don't want to claim that I know a lot, because if you're gonna be asking me some things, I mean, I know that there's some things I can tell you about because basically I've been a person that's leased on um to other carriers, and I just recently in April, got my own authority. I've had my authority for a while, but I just been letting it sit. You know what I mean? And just in April when I got my customer, was I able to, actually, put it to work? Because I've always heard that brokers don't want to work with you if you don't have, I guess an aged MC.
Yeah, 6 months, a year, somewhere around there, and there's a lot of reasonings behind that. It's not a perfect system, but it's a system that they kind of use. It's one of the things that we'll be talking about at the Broker Carrier Summit, right? Kind of those little nuggets of information that you don't really realize until you start moving around and starting your own business is like, I need to watch off this. I need to do that. So a lot of really great educational resources and tracks um, for people just starting out in business, right? So not only the regulatory side, but also the financial side, the accounting side, the day-to-day operations, because there's a lot into it that none of us ever think about whenever we go into business. We just want to go out and do the job and sell, right? But there's a lot of paperwork and taxes and things like that you have to keep an eye out on. And it's something hardly any of us ever want to do, but if you have to know your numbers, definitely.
Yes, exactly. And that's just something that I'm learning. I don't know at the end of this tax year, because it seems like I'm spending some money that maybe I shouldn't, but I try to make sure that all the money that I am spending, I can maybe write it off. Like
Yeah,
I'm writing off this trip to Florida.
yes.
That's a write off for me.
It is. It is definitely a write-off for all of us, right? It's going out there and attending the conference and expensing that, certainly.
Yeah. So.
It certainly is. Are you driving out there or flying?
I'm probably gonna fly. Yeah, I'm probably gonna fly out there because I'm taking my family with me. So
Yeah. Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think they want to visit Disney World too.
Of course. Of course. It's hard to go to Orlando without taking families. That it is. Well, Jesse, thanks for joining us today and talking with us, and I'm excited to see you out at the Broker Carrier Summit, October 28th through the 30th, and I will make sure that we get you hooked up for some Laredo loads while we're there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Man, that'll work out for me great.
You bet.
Thank you for having me.
Again, the Broker Carrier Summit, October 28th through the 30th, the Hyatt Regency in Orlando, Florida. It is going to be fun. We have 40 plus speakers. We have 4 breakout tracks for that education. We have the dynamic learning labs, which are always a hit, and the networking opportunities, which is kind of our bread and butter. Coming to Florida, networking and doing business on the floor. If you're a carrier, you're going to find loads. If you're a broker, you're going to find carriers. If you need any help whatsoever, you can always DM me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email at kevin@brushpassresearch.com. If you're a carrier, you need to meet some brokers, just let me know. I'll help you out, just like I'll do for Jessie Garcia that we just spoke to in this segment. So yeah, it's going to be a fun, fantastic time once again at the Broker Carrier Summit. So if you haven't registered, go register right now. Go find the link and do it. And until then, we'll see you next week here for the road to the summit.